Hey, welcome to Snip Talks MMA. So, I was sitting here looking at the little ESPN MMA channel, and I see that Dan Hooker and Dustin Poirier agreed um, to have a little fight. And I'm like, yo, I like to see that fight, man. Now, that fight right there is exciting. You know, Poirier got good boxing, Hooker real solid on the stand up game with his kickboxing. Um, I can't even tell you who'll win that fight, not right now. I think Dustin is a better boxer, but I don't want to really put a prediction down on who will win that fight. But I'm excited about that fight. Moving forward, we got Habib and Tony, and they talking about all these different things about the fight still gonna happen. I hope it happened. I mean, we this is number five, right? 5 times now we went through this, and hopefully that we can get this fight. I did the prediction video. I got to do more of an updated version. I still think that it comes down to can Tony Darce Habib, or is Habib just gonna go ahead and just ride him out for a decision victory? I was thinking this could be a knockout third round originally, but as I keep looking at it, you can't underestimate Tony, man. Tony is a monster, man. The El Kukui thing is real life, man, with the boogeyman side of the game. So you gotta respect that. So I really think it come down to the stamina issue. And Tony got some of the best cardio out there just in the game right now, period. Not just in the division, but MMA, period. So we have to see. But I'll do a more updated version of that video later on. We got some other things that I guess I haven't really talked about in a while. So some of these cards is crazy. I want to see, Leon Edwards and Ty Woodley. It's not happening. I see that they offered him Gilbert Burns. That'd have been a nice little solid fight, but I understand Woodley on that one. So then we move forward. We got Covington and Woodley. Now, that's a fight that I think we all would want to see. Now, who will win that fight? Well, of course, we all will say, well, Covington easily should win the fight just because him and Usman really was like neck and neck until, he got caught and then it was over with. So it's like the top two guys in the division. It's not even close, right? So then you got the follow-up guys with Masvidal up in there. So it's like, well, what do? You got Woodley in there. So this will be a huge test. Now, if Woodley go ahead and knock him out, then it kind of shows a little bit more that Woodley wasn't on this game against Usman. I mean, my opinion, I know Usman did his thing and, punished Woodley as the fight kept going on. But it looked like Woodley wasn't in the fight, man. If you go back and watch, he just looked confused and everything. Like he just really didn't come in there to fight. He tried to do that same play it safe. And I think some of these champions starting to do that, like John Jones, for example. Kind of like what GSP was doing. Once he lost to Matt Serra, it kind of became a different type of fighter, man. Where it's like I'm a fight to keep my belt type of situation. So we'll see what happened. But yeah, I definitely want to see that Woodley Covington fight. That's what I want to see. So moving forward from that, Justin Gaethje been really, really quiet. So what do you guys think that means? I think that means he got to fight with Conor McGregor. I could be wrong, but that's what I think is really going on. It's a little too quiet, man. And that's a fight that makes sense. I don't know about that welterweight stuff. I don't know about that one. But fighting a lightweight, now that makes sense, That lightweight division, again, man, is really tough because it's like, it's fights on fights on fights when you go through it. So if Poirier is going to fight Dan Hooker and Gaethje is going to fight Conor, we know that Habib is fighting Tony. And it's like, well, we got to keep looking at how everything play out in the lightweight division. I like the lightweight division. Just as much as I like that featherweight division, moving forward, I think Max is going to fight Volkanovski in a rematch. Even though I like to see Korean Zombie out there, I know Zombie, recovering from the eye surgery. And I know he's ready to get out there. I think in the previous video or two, I mentioned about Zabit against Ortega, which Zabit should win that fight. But it comes down to cardio, man. Zabit is a good fighter, man, but that cardio is not top notch. Maybe I'm wrong, but just from what I see. And then who is Yair Rodriguez gonna fight? I mean, he just out there just standing by, chilling. So who is he fighting next? A couple guys out there, man. I like that division as well. So then we got a couple fights that's derailed because of this coronavirus. And it's like, well, what's going to happen with Rosenstruck and Francis Ngannou? We need to see that fight. It's very mandatory that we get that fight in. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Dana and everybody over at UFC figure out a way to get all these fights out there if they're not fighting in their respective cities, and they're not fighting at the apex, then where are they fighting? You know, I've seen some people make suggestions fighting in on cruise ship, not cruise ships. I'm sorry, battleships and things like that. Like, that's cool, man, but I don't think that's the way to move, the way to go. That's not the right move. So we'll see. But I figured I had to do a better updated video since it's been a while. I'm just looking at everything as a whole, and there's no telling what's gonna happen, man. This virus just derailed a lot of things right now in just all sports, not just UFC or MMA or Bellator or ONE, or, you know, it's really affecting everything right now. But I'll let you guys know what I think as it keep going through the pipe. I see that John Jones mentioned something. This is the last thing I talk about in this video. I said John Jones mentioned something to Izzy about Yoel Romero was 10 years older than him, and he, you know, could have won that fight if he'd have did a little more. And, you know, it's weird, man. Like, I think if John Jones really fight instead of doing this point kickboxing fighting thing that he's doing right now, unless it's just steroids, I don't know, you know, or cocaine or all the other stuff that John Jones was doing, you know, it's no telling, man, you know. But I do think that he'd beat Adesanya. I know people saying he's smaller, and it's like, well, they not that far away in height. The weight difference, I mean, you know, give time for Izzy to gain that weight, even though he fought in that weight division kickboxing before, you know, whatnot. But, hey, MMA is a little different, but I still think John Jones will win, man. Just the grappling advantage would be enough if he actually use it, you know. But one thing I noticed, man, that in this MMA wrestling is different than like actual wrestling or Greco or freestyle. So, you know, you gotta, if you're not doing it all the time and constantly training at it, you know, you kind of lose it, man. Like DC was saying in one of his interviews, it's like, you know, my freestyle background, and then I transition to MMA. It works, but then the less I use it, kind of like with Stipe, is then you eventually lose it, man. I still think, well, I just mentioned the fight. So if Stipe and DC fight this last time, I'm pretty sure DC is not going to do what he did last time. He got a little comfortable on the feet. You know, Stipe finally figured out, and Stipe got excited, man. He hit him with that body shot. Stipe, you see his eyes light up. He's like, hey, I got him. So, you know, people forget that Stipe got that boxing background, that Golden Glove background. People just think, oh, he just a wrestler, you know, he tough because he a firefighter. It's like, man, people forget, man, that, hey, Stipe got hands, man. And he put those hands on DC, and that pretty much wrapped him up and gave him that second loss in his career right there. So, appreciate you guys checking me out today. Like, comment, subscribe, man. We got more stuff coming. You know, maybe a little slow, but it's coming, man. I got it, man. Check out the video. Appreciate you. Peace.